beauties, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be creating this makeup look together. This is not your typical no makeup look. This is more so on a day where you want to feel put together but not put in too much effort. This look is definitely geared towards beginners. It's an easy, everyday friendly makeup go-to look that you can use just to feel beautiful. Also, I would like to mention that my hair is actually curly in today's video, which you guys do not see very often here on my channel, just because ever since I cut my hair, I wasn't really confident in wearing it curly. I'm trying to get there, so let's just say today's a good hair day. Nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoy today's video. Before we begin, if you guys are not subscribed, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you're clicking that bell so you can be notified every single time I upload. And with that, we are just going to get started on this makeup tutorial. So today we are just going to start off with the camera a little closer than usual, only because I want to focus on my brows first. I always do my brows before I do my makeup, but normally that's a step that I do off camera, and then I'll come on camera and do the rest with you all. But today I feel like brows is kind of important for this effortless, everyday kind of look, only because it's super easy and simple. So what you're gonna need is any bar of soap, one preferably that doesn't turn white. I have this one right here. I purchased this off of Amazon. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I originally got this soap because of the acne problems that I was having. Long story short, I decided to go to a dermatologist, so I wanted to repurpose the soap since I already purchased it, and it's been working great for my brows. So what I like to do is just take a little water bottle. I'll spray the soap, just one little spray, not too wet. Take my little spoolie. As you guys can see, this is a bit dirty because I've been using it for soap. And then I just like to run that on the soap like this and just kind of coat the bristles. So you want to make sure your brush is coated with the soap. I try not to make it too wet, but it's okay if you do. I have a way to fix it. I'm gonna grab my little mirror right here. I just like to use a smaller mirror just to look, and you're just gonna brush your brow hairs upwards in an upwards motion, kind of like that messy brow look. So just brushing it upwards and just kind of taking your time with it. If this is your first time doing the soap method, it may take you a little longer than normal, and that's okay. So now I'm just gonna do the same thing to the opposite side. I did not reapply water to the soap because it's still kind of wet. And like I said, you don't want too wet, but you also don't want it too dry. And I'm just focused on brushing my hairs upwards. Now your brows should look a little bit like this. I will say that over time, as I've done this to my brows and used this method, the straighter that my brow hairs become. Honestly, the first time I ever tried this, they were sticking up, but they weren't like staying in place the way that they are. So I found that one, over time, it'll do that because you're training your brow hairs to go up, you know, a different way from what you normally like brush them in. And two, if the spoolie is wet but not too wet, you can definitely push it up with the right amount of, you know, force. So now that we have that there, sometimes if my brows are too wet, I'll go in with like a cotton round or a paper towel. I would suggest a paper towel, like a small piece of paper towel, just to like dab and press your brows down, just because the cotton round can sometimes leave little fuzzies. So that or a microfiber cloth, and you can just kind of just like press into the brow because you don't want it to be wet. You want it to be dry. So then the next thing I like to do is kind of like shape them a little bit with my spoolie from my brow pencil. So I'm just kind of like shaping the brow because I don't want them to be all sticking up too much. Just, you know, the right amount, and just kind of giving that brow shape. Then I'll take a little Q-tip and I'll clean up the soap from around my brows. Because remember, we were kind of like pushing the brow hairs up, so you want to clean that soap up around them so it's not just sitting there. So as you can see, the little brown soap is coming off, and you just kind of clean it up. So now that we have our brows cleaned up, pushed up, flattened, now I'm going to go in with a little bit of my pencil. This is the Precisely My Brow from Benefit. So I'm just going to use this just to fill in the sparse areas and just kind of shape the end of my brow. and just perfect it a little bit. But believe me, I'm not going to need too much of this just because I've already done most of the work. So that's really all you need to do. Honestly, it's super quick and easy. And like I said, because I'm accustomed to doing this almost on an everyday basis, it's become like nothing, second nature to me, honestly. So super simple, super easy, and your brows look made up and done, and you didn't even have to spend a long time trying to perfect them. Now we can move on to the base makeup, and for me, I feel like this is like the most important step, because if your foundation isn't right, then everything else is gonna kind of fall to pieces. So the first thing I'm gonna go in with is this Pure 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. You guys have probably seen this in my previous video that I just filmed not too long ago. It went live. I'll have it linked up in the cards above. But I fell in love with this. This in combination with the second product or primer that we are going to go in with. It's just very moisturizing on the skin, and honestly, this primer shocked me. Now I'm going to use a little bit of the Farsali Skin Tune Blur Primer, and this is just going to really help to blur our pores and just minimize them so they don't have such a strong appearance on our face. I really have trouble with pores in this area of my face, so I really like to concentrate the product right here. Next, for foundation, I'm going to go in with my NYX Born to Glow. This right here has a really natural finish to it, which makes it seem effortless because it just looks natural on the skin and you don't really look like you're wearing loads of foundation. So on the days where I want to wear makeup but not too much makeup, I definitely gravitate towards this one just because it's so natural. And with the primers that we set down on our face, everything just looks nice and porcelain and just very, very skin-like, minus the pores. All right, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. If you guys have noticed, the lighting changed just a little bit. And that's because I was wondering, like I'm over here looking into my monitor and wondering like why it looks so dark. But I wanted to press on anyways, and then something just told me to check the camera settings, and for whatever reason, it was set to 400. What the heck? So like I was saying before, this foundation is just like very, very natural. It has a nice natural finish to it, and I really, really love it for like everyday, no makeup kind of looks. Now this shade might be a little bit tanner than my actual skin tone, and for whatever reason, like my whole body is kind of like one tone except for my hands. My hands, they're just light as day, so I don't know. I mean, I always notice it, obviously, it's my body, but just in case other people watching have noticed, yes, I know my hands are way lighter than my face, even on days where I don't have makeup on. Like, I don't know why. Everywhere else on my body will tan, get darker, develop some kind of pigment, but my hands do not. So the next product, which is our concealer, is also another lightweight product that is very lightweight on the skin, looks very natural and skin-like. It's medium to buildable coverage, and I really have been loving it. This is the Pretty Vulgar Undercover Concealer, and mine is in the shade the middle ground. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this underneath my eyes just to do a little bit of concealing. Now I'm just going to blend it in, and this concealer blends out so effortlessly and easy. Just a couple of taps and it's blended out, honestly. That's how easy this concealer is to blend. Now we're going to set using the Maybelline Fit Me Light Medium Powder. I normally use this to set my primers, but today I didn't set any primers, if you guys noticed. I'm actually just going to take this to use to set my under eyes and my T-zone area. Now I also have the medium powder, which is a little bit deeper than this one, but obviously I want a nice bright under eye, but not too intense, which is why I'm just going in with this one. Now, since we did not put powder underneath our foundation, I am going to set the rest of the foundation on my face down with a little bit of the Sephora Micro Smooth powder. This is just a really natural finishing powder that just sets everything down nicely, but again, not adding any coverage to my face, just setting the powder down. So I'm just going to really work this like in the perimeter parts of my face and anywhere I didn't put that Maybelline powder. So really quickly, let's talk about the eyes. You can do a full-on eyeshadow look, but because we want to look put together with minimal effort, we're not going to do too much. I'm just going to take my Fenty bronzer, and this one is in Island Ting. I'm going to take a random like eye brush. For me, it'll be the Morphe M513. Take a little bit of that bronzer, and then just pop this right in my crease area and just kind of, I don't know, like just throw that in there just as like a pop of color so that our eyes aren't like plain and they have a little something. So kind of like contouring your eye in a sense. I'm just gonna drag that all the way across. So at this point, you can definitely just pop on some mascara and call it a day, and then finish off the rest of your makeup. Or you could be like me and throw on a good pair of lashes. For lashes today, I'm going to be using the Lily lashes. These are their limited edition foam ink lashes. I believe in the style Gaia is how you say it, Gaia. So I'm going to throw these on really quickly, and then we can finish off the base makeup. So lashes are on, and the only thing I need to do for my eyes is just add a little bit of liner. This is the LA Girl liner that I always use, and I believe the shade is Nude. I'm just going to run this in my waterline. This is just going to help just to brighten the eye up. And it is in the shade Nude, I just double checked. For bronzer, I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Chocolate Gold Soleil bronzer. I have not used this in a little minute, but I feel like this bronzer is perfect for like the warmer months, and spring is right around the corner. So it just adds a nice bronzy feel to your skin, but it also gives it a slight glow, nothing too intense. So I'm just going to work this all over my face. For blush, I'm just going to mix a concoction of this Anastasia blush trio. So just kind of run my brush through all of them and then just pop this on my cheeks. And if you ever get too heavy-handed like I did, you just take your bronzer brush and just blend it out. But blush is like the first thing to dissipate on your face. So sometimes it's not even a bad thing that you put too much on. But again, you can always diffuse it. Now before we get to highlighting, I'm just going to carve out that under area slightly with some powder. And then for highlighter, I do want a soft glow, so I'm just going to go into my Sephora palette, and I'm going to pick up that gold highlight that I used before. And I'm going to put this on my cheek area as well. This just gives it that light, soft glow from within. But it's super pretty, and it looks kind of wet on the skin, and I really love it. I feel like that tied everything in really, really nicely. Now I'm going to use this new lippy from Physicians Formula. This is like supposed to be their butter lippies or something. This has SPF 15 in it. Mine is in the shade Soaking Up the Sun. We're just going to pop a little bit of this on the lips. So just a little bit of this. Super creamy. Wow. It feels like butter for real. Like it's like melting almost on my lips. Okay, beauties, so this is the finished and final look. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, as always. I really don't have anything to say today other than I love you guys so much. Thank you all for supporting me, and I will see you guys super soon in the next video or vlog, whichever one comes first.